Hello. Here is a listener-friendly script with each news topic presented in 3 to 4 clear lines, translated into English and keeping the key facts intact. Topic 1. U.S. Iran tensions, fragile ceasefire, and protected shipping transits. Rising U.S. Iran tensions have shaken a fragile ceasefire after Iran's drone and missile strikes on the UAE and reports of U.S. strikes on Iranian vessels, threatening safety around the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. launched Project Freedom to escort commercial shipping. A Maersk U.S. flag vehicle carrier transited Hormuz under U.S. naval escort, while the Pentagon says the ceasefire still holds, but tensions persist. Immediate supply fears pushed oil sharply higher, Brent up into the $110 range, WTI 103 to 105 in the prior session, later easing slightly but remaining above $100 a barrel. Markets are volatile. The protected transits are operating as a practical measure to keep shipping moving, while geopolitics keeps risk and prices elevated. Topic 2. Spirit Airlines driven toward insolvency by soaring jet fuel costs. Court filings say Spirit's liquidity was exhausted by large sustained jet fuel cost increases tied to recent geopolitical events, pushing the airline into bankruptcy territory. Management and advisors failed to secure additional financing. Spirit suspended operations over a weekend. FAA ground stop around 3 p.m., stranding thousands of passengers. Direct card purchases will be auto-refunded. Vouchers points handled in bankruptcy. Filings seek authority to sell or abandon aircraft, spare engines, parts as part of wind-down steps. Roughly 17,000 employees, crew and staff lost jobs. The collapse raises short-term capacity gaps and upward pressure on fares as carriers reallocate routes. Backdrop includes 2 prior bankruptcies, failed merger, and a collapsed $500 million+ rescue effort amid creditor disagreement. Topic 3. Big moves in AI and tech. Coinbase cuts Anthropic joint venture. Youth AI Safety Lab, Musk versus OpenAI, Brockman stake. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong said the company will cut about 14% of global staff, 700 people, to become leaner and more AI native, with restructuring costs of roughly $50 to $60 million to be completed in Q2 amid a slow crypto trading environment. Anthropic, with investors including Goldman Sachs, Blackstone, and Hellman & Friedman, launched a $1.5 billion venture to deploy Claude into private equity portfolios and mid-sized firms, placing engineers inside customers to build agent-based workflows. Common Sense Media launched the Youth AI Safety Institute with about $20 million annual funding. Backers include OpenAI Foundation, Anthropic, Pinterest, to independently red team major models, create child safety benchmarks, and publish consumer guides. Legal drama. Elon Musk reportedly offered to settle with OpenAI days before trial and allegedly messaged Greg Brockman warning reputational fallout. OpenAI accuses Musk of motive tied to competition, and Brockman disclosed his OpenAI stake at about $30 billion in court testimony. Topic 4. Central banks warn higher for longer. Strategists fear rate hikes, plus oil shock could tip economies. Central banks, including Australia's RBA, warn inflation risks from higher energy prices may force policy rates to stay elevated longer. The RBA raised its cash rate to 4.35%, third consecutive hike, and flagged a year-end 2026 projection near 4.7% under some board views. RBA cites fuel and commodity-driven CPI upside for late 2025 and raised its 2026 forecasts. Growth forecasts were trimmed modestly, but activity remains relatively firm. Strategists caution that fighting an oil-driven inflation shock with only rate hikes risks tipping economies into recession. Central banks cannot print oil. An excessively tight policy could inflict real economy damage. Long-term borrowing costs are the highest since 1998 in some markets. UK 30-year yields 5.77%. Mortgage affordability is at its worst since 2008, and repricing of fixed mortgages after the